Okay.
All right. Well, we are getting ready to go live. I think it should be ready in just a second. And there we go. All right. So let me come back so I can see myself. All right. Well, thanks for being on tonight. This is our YouTube event called Makeup Look of the Month, and we are going to do this look right here in the book. It's called Champagne Celebration. And this is such a pretty look. We've got a sample strip. So if you want to try the samples, you can let us know and we will get those to you. There's three eyeshadows, a blush, and a lipstick. So let's get on into it. We are going to go with this palette that is already filled with the colors that we need. We love our magnetic palettes. And what's really cool about our lookbooks, I don't know if you realize this, but they actually give you step-by-step instructions in how to create these different looks. So let's get started. Well, first things first, right? Usually I put on my foundation first and then I put on my eyeshadow. But tonight we're going to do a little different. We're going to wait and we're going to put our foundation on at the end because I just did some skincare. I had to take my makeup off in order to put it back on again. And so I'm letting my skincare dry a little bit and we'll just dive right into the eyes and then we will put the foundation on later. So it's a little different. Now, I usually do some eyebrow shaping in the beginning of my look because I feel like the eyebrow is really the frame around your eye. You really want to give your eyebrow some structure, some shape. Sometimes we need a little enhancing, especially if your eyebrow stops a little bit too short here or too short here. So we're going to add a little more on the inside corner for me, a little bit of a thickness, and I'm using the Precision Brow Liner in dark blonde. And when I do this, I just do these little tiny strokes, almost like creating little hashes, like it's a little hair that you're drawing onto your eyebrow. And it fills in the spaces where you already have hair, and it's very forgiving. So if you go a little bit too high, you can just wipe it away. But you can see the difference when you have a brow that's filled in versus one that's not, right? And it's so soft and easy just to go in these little strokes. We also have a brow volumizing tint, which is a little mascara wand, and that's a great way to fill in your brows too. So if we have more people coming in, we will add them in here. Okay. So here we are with the brows. Now, I might have to touch this up a little bit when I do the foundation because I'm feeling like my foundation may get into my brows. So if that happens, it's okay. We'll fix it. And remember, your eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters. So they might not look exactly the same. That's okay. If you feel like your brows just need a little grooming or a little bit of taming, or maybe just softening up some of the color that you put on them, you can use this tool. This is on the end of our eyeliner brush, and it just helps all the hairs going to go in the right direction. You can also use our brow gel. And this is a great clear mascara wand, sort of a smaller version, and it gives you a more laminated, put together, polished look on your brows. So probably would do this more at the end, but just wanted to show you since we're talking about brows. And it's not too sticky, it's clear, and it really holds everything in place. All right. So when I do my eyeshadow, I always want to put some kind of a primer onto my eyes first. That texture of this, I'm using the under eye corrector, is going to help the shadow hold on better. And so I'm patting this with my finger. You could also use a cream eye color brush. And I'm just going to pat this in so that I can create a nice even base. It's going to lighten up the eyes, brighten them, take away some of the discoloration that we all have. We've all got those purpley pink tones around our eyes. Some of us more than others, depending on our genetics and skin tone and lack of sleep and all of that. But this is important because if you leave your eyelids bare and you put shadow right on top of that skin, the oils from your eyelid are going to affect the color of the shadow. So it's a good idea to always put on a little bit of that first on your lids. All right, so let's dive into this. It says that gold status is going to be in the center of the eyelid and the inner corner. And then the burnished bronze is going to be in the center of the eyelid to the outer corner. And then they use Cinnabar on the lower lash line. So we're just going to see how that looks. We can always change it up if we feel like we need to. So gold status is this really pretty gold color. And you can see on the model, like she has that gold popping in this inner corner right here. So don't be afraid to put some of that gold right in that inner corner, kind of almost like where the tear duct is. And when you use your all over eye brush to put your eyeshadow on, you're really patting it in, like pushing the product into the lid over and over again, not doing a wiping motion for this, just more of pushing it in. And you're going from the center over to the inner corner. Gold status, it's just a really pretty light color, does have some shimmer, so you probably want to keep it lower, like toward the lid only. When we are moving into our 40s, 50s, and beyond, our lids start to have more texture. They're not as smooth as they used to be when we were younger. So it's best to keep the shimmer a little bit lower on the eyelid and not as far up. All right. So make sure when you're putting it on that you can see it, because as you put on other colors, it's going to kind of fade away a little bit. It will be not as bright and bold as when you first put it on. So I'm going to use the same brush. I'm just going to turn it on the other side. And this color is called Burnished Bronze. Isn't that a pretty color? It's very kind of coppery. And I'm putting that in the center over to the outer part of my eye. So I'm also keeping this really more on the lid. Some of it's coming up a little bit. That's okay. And then we're going to blend all of this together in a minute. So let's see how this looks when we put it all together. Now, the third color, we're going to use a different brush because this brush is really too big to put on this third color. Always make sure you're using the right tool for the job. And if you're putting something that's supposed to go in a specific area and you're using a really big brush, it's just going to go all over the place. So we're going to use the crease brush for this. And this is a matte color. That means we can put it in the crease and it's going to look great. So the crease brush has an angle to it. And we are just going to pat it into the crease, little tiny dots. And I don't usually go all the way into the inner corner because of my eyes being a little more deep set and closed set. So I like to kind of keep my crease color out here. And then what I do is then I just start going up in a rainbow motion. Some people call it the windshield wiper. And that is going to take that crease color and bring it up and out. Now, everyone's eye shape is different. So you're going to play with your colors and find the right shape for you. If you're trying to pull your eyes out more, because like mine are kind of close set here, I like to put my color out further out here because it creates an optical illusion of pulling my eyes outward, and I keep the inside really light. But if you have wide set eyes, then it's better for you to pull that dark color in closer to the inner corner. So again, it depends on what your eye shape is. If you have hooded eyes, that means you're going to have this skin that's coming down more. But what you want to do is pull this crease all the way up, and that's going to create a crease. You do not want that white skin to, or that lighter skin to be coming out forward as much. And the way you do that is you put that matte color right on top of it. So I'm just going to go back and forth a little bit here, and I'm going in that windshield wiper or rainbow motion. Okay, so I did all of that without blending. Sometimes I will blend as I go. Sometimes I just wait and I blend at the end. So I'm taking a blending brush now, which is a bigger, fluffier brush, and I'm just going in little tiny circles, and I'm holding it down more at the bottom so that it is like a light touch with my hand. I'm not like holding it like this and just going really hard. Okay, you hold it at the bottom and you just go lightly in the crease, lightly on the outside. Okay, so it's blending a little bit more, looks a little bit softer and more polished after you blend. Can you see the difference? I bet you can see a little bit of more smoothness in the first side. Now we're going to make this side smooth. The blending is where you can really fix the mistakes. Like if you went a little too heavy on one side, you can just blend it out a little bit extra, and then it won't look as dark. So use your blending to fix any of the mistakes that you made. All right, so there we go. We've got some eye color on, and I see someone else is joining us. So we'll say hello to Jeannie. Hey, Jeannie.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I'm just recording this on YouTube because it's a small group tonight. So that way
Okay,
everybody can see the replay.
okay, awesome. Well, I might just watch it on the replay then.
Well, it's up to you.
Okay,
We're about halfway done.
okay. All right, well, I'll listen in.
All right. So I said that I was going to do my eyes first, which is a little different for me. I usually put the foundation on first. But I am going to put on my primer now, just getting my face ready to receive the foundation. So primer, so important. It's like spackle for your face. It's going to fill in the pores, the lines, so that when you put foundation on, it's not going to look so, speckled or uneven. It's going to make it look really, really smooth. All right, so let's go back to the eyes for a minute and we'll finish them. I am going to work on the eyeliner now. So in this look, from here, they have this beautiful black liquid liner. And you can kind of see she's got the wing there. I'm going to attempt it. And I am going to add a little bit of the liquid light beam in the inner corners and also the Cinnabar on my lash line. So I think she did the lower lash line with Cinnabar. So let's start with the most challenging part of this look, which is our liquid pencil, liquid pen, actually. It's a pen. You can do a thick line or you could do a thin line. You have options, and it's all about how you hold it. I'm going to try to get my mirror here. And you just want to go really low. I try to get as close as I can to the root of my lashes. And I just do these little subtraction signs, just the littlest, softest touch. You do not have to press hard, especially if it's a new one. It will go on really, really smoothly, and it is waterproof. So this is going to last a long time. Now, I personally don't bring it in too close to the inner corner, but I try to make sure that it looks sort of like faded. And I usually keep my eyes open just to do a little tiny bit in the inner corner so it just kind of gradually ends. Now, to do your wing, you're going to look at the angle of your eye. So the way that my eye goes, it goes like this. So that is where I need to put my wing, going up, following the line of my lower lash line. So if I were to draw a line like this and just go up, 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 that's where my wing goes, like that. And it's really just taking little dashes all the way across. Now, I don't usually do like one of those really thick wings, like you can do like almost like a triangle and fill it in. If you like that look, go for it. This pen is going to be great for that. It is so smooth and so easy to use. It's just a little hard to talk while you're doing it. So forgive me if I'm being a little quiet as I'm concentrating on my eyeliner. But it's really not that hard. I usually do kind of pull my lash over a little bit so that I'm just getting a little bit of a smoother line. And then we'll just go with our wing right up here. All right, that one's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. And while it's fresh, you can kind of wipe it off just a little bit. Okay, so this is a holiday look. It's fun. It might not be something you wear every day to the office, but play with it and have fun. And when you put your mascara on, it doesn't really look as noticeable when you have the wing on because your lashes are going to kind of fade in with it. But are you seeing how it just kind of changed the shape of my eyes? It already just kind of like brings everything upward and outward and makes it look a little bit glamorous. It's almost again like an optical illusion with making your eyes just look a little bit more lifted. So the other fun thing that they added into this look was the light beam shadow. So let's do the light beam before we move on to the bottom. Light beam is just going to give you this extra little shimmer. It is a liquid shadow and it comes in this little tube with this little applicator, and it's kind of giving you a double dose of gold because it's basically like gold on gold. And that's why this is called a champagne celebration look. It's just a really pretty textured, shimmery inner corner. Now, if you didn't want to do as much shimmer, you could keep your light beam just really tight into the inner corner. Like just do it just a tiny pop right there in the inner corner. Do you see the difference? This one has just a little inner corner shimmer. This one, I took it a little bit further over. Which one do you like better? Can you even tell the difference? I think I know which one I like better. I feel like less is more. I feel like I like it with a little bit less. So I'm going to put a little bit of this here, tone it down. Let's go to burnished bronze. That's the nice thing too. If you don't like how you did it, then just put some shadow on top. It's just like covering up something that you don't really love. Okay. So light beam, so much fun. So much fun to use this. You can wear this all by itself. You could just put this on when you're ready to go out to the grocery store, do some errands, do some Christmas shopping, and just put light beam on all over your lids. Just take like your finger and just put it everywhere, and you will love how it looks just all by itself. All right, so we are going to do some bottom liner. And I think before I do the bottom liner, I'm just going to mix a little bit of my under eye corrector and my concealer together. So this is a little trick that I learned from a makeup artist. You take your concealer, this is deep ivory, and you take your under eye corrector and you use your hand as a little palette, like an artist palette. You know how they mix paints in their little palette? This color is the one we used on the top of the lid to create that nice even base and that texture so that the powder could hold on better. But I'm going to mix the two colors together to make the perfect under eye correcting and brightening color. Okay, it is so nice. It's not going to look like a white raccoon eye. It is not going to be too, bright, like a big white circle. It's just going to be correcting and also brightening at the same time. So, and then I'm going to blend it out a little bit with this brush. If I need to add a little more, can do this. Now, the other fun thing is I can kind of clean up any of the shadow that may have fallen down. And then, of course, my foundation is going to help with that. So the last thing we're going to do is our lash line with the Cinnabar. We're going to use this brush, which is our eyeliner brush, and we're just going to go really close to the lash line, going right up to where the black eyeliner was in the corner, and we're just going to bring it in little tiny strokes about a quarter of the way across. So can you see a difference between this eye and this eye? It just looks a little more balanced because I have color up here and now I have color under here. You don't have to put a lot. You don't have to take a black eyeliner and draw a big old line across your bottom lash line. That would be probably too dark and too harsh for most people. Maybe if you were doing a real dramatic look or a smoky eye, but just putting it on about a quarter of the way across one of your complementary colors from above and bringing it down here is such a nice touch to give you some extra balance and color underneath. And then what you could do too, if you want to smudge it, blend it, use your smudger brush and just take it and just soften it a little bit. Because sometimes when we just put it on, It looks like it has a hard stop. We don't want our liner to have a hard stop. We don't want any lines to be looking like that. So just smudge it a little bit and that will soften the line and maybe just go about halfway across. Okay. So now we got to put on some mascara. And I know this is taking a while, but trust me, when you're doing this, it will not take this long. It will be quick. And I see we have another friend joining us. Hey, Lenora.
Hi.
We are doing this live on YouTube so
Oh,
that we
hey,
can watch the
Lenora.
recording. And Jeannie's here and Christina's here. So we're all here together doing this beautiful look. And anyone remember the colors we used? You can shout it out if you remember.
Definitely light beam.
Uh-huh. We used a little bit of light beam in the inner corner. That's this nice little shimmer. Do you remember the shadow colors? Anybody? Gold Status, Burnished Bronze, and Cinnabar. I don't know if I even said that. It's Cinnabar. All right. So pretty, isn't it? It's like a neutral because it's got all the browns, but it has that little gold, which pops it, right? And makes it so fun for the holidays and makes it just a little bit more festive, a little bit more than just your every average day kind of look, because this is supposed to be a holiday look. And if you saw the look in the catalog, you know what else is coming that's going to make it look definitely festive. The red lip. Okay. That's not your everyday color, especially if you're me. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to try a red lip today. So I won't take too much time with the mascara because normally I do maybe 3, 4, 5 coats of mascara, depending on the look that I want. And when I'm in a hurry like this, I'll often poke myself in the eye. So I don't want to do that. I'm just going to leave it at like a couple coats here before I do any major damage. But it is good if you want to have, longer, thicker, more volume, more length, is just go back in and do another coat and another coat and another coat and another coat. Our mascara, this is the ultimate mascara. It's very buildable. You can just keep on going and just get another coat on top of the other coat, and it will get longer and longer as you go. Okay, so like I told you in the beginning, we were going to do something a little different. We were doing our foundation after the eyeshadow. So this is me with no makeup on my face. I have no foundation on. That's what good skincare looks like, right? You have good skincare, your face is going to almost look like you have foundation on when you don't. And I'm going to do it lightly tonight. It is a buildable foundation. I'm using Beige 150. It's a neutral undertone. Neutral undertone means that it's for people that are not really cool, like pink, and they're not really olivey. They're not super warm. They're kind of in the middle. And that's what I am. I'm kind of in the middle. You can tell that I don't have a lot of like strong pink undertones, but I don't have a lot of warm olive undertones. So that's why the N foundation works better for me. Now, if I wanted to have a more full coverage, I could just go in and, do another coat, especially if there's a place where I feel like I have more redness, more hyperpigmentation or dark spots. Just go over it again. It will build and look more and more beautiful without looking cakey. But if you like that more sheer look, then just do it with one layer. And since we're doing a red lip, and also I guess anytime you do lipstick, you can put some foundation on your lip. It's going to help the lipstick hold on better. Okay, so let's move on to, she did, just by the way, in case you were wondering, her color is Bronze C170. So she has more of a cool undertone and she's using Bronze 170. So we're going to do some contouring with this makeup look. She used the color called Cocoa for her contour. That would be a little dark for me. So we're going to use the color that is for my skin tone in this look, and it's called Latte. So we're going to do the Latte, and then we're going to do the, where's my cheek brush? I think we're missing a brush. So we're going to have to improvise with this brush. This is a more of a powder brush, but we're going to squeeze it and we're going to make do. So contour, I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to squeeze it, tap it off a little bit, and I'm going to put some contour right there at the bottom of my cheekbone. Okay. I used to do this thing where I called the fishy face. I would suck in and I would put my contour in the fishy face, right there. I learned from watching makeup videos that you actually should do it right above that fishy face line because it's going to create more of a lift. Did you see how it made this cheekbone look higher? It's an optical illusion. It's just all smoke and mirrors. That's what makeup is. But it's creating a shadow that's higher. What would happen if I put my contour down here? It would sag my face, right? It would pull my face down. I don't want to make my face look like it's sagging. I want to make my face look more lifted. So I'm going to put it right there at the bottom of the cheekbone. Okay. A little bit higher than what I used to do, but experiment with it. Try it yourself. Get your latte or get your cocoa and place it in different places on your cheekbones and see how it looks. Now you don't want to bring it in too close. All right. It should just be like, I forget what we do. About like this, I think, about the length of your thumb. Okay. And your contour actually should go in this area right in here. So I can get a little more on my brush and I can put some contour on this temple on the side of my forehead. Because what that's doing is it's bringing some dark shadow on the side of my head. I'm going to do a little on the top because I have a really tall forehead. And then that's going to make this part more light. So I'm adding the color where I want to kind of de-emphasize or, kind of set back. And then the white, light part, the lighter, brighter part of my face will come forward. So I'm just going to now blend this. So it's little circles, blend the cheek in. Don't bring it down though. Just blend it in a circle right on top of where it is. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit more. I do my contour underneath the chin, underneath the jawline, and then pull it down toward the neck. That is how I do the contour along my face. And then sometimes I'll do a little bit on the tip of my nose because I have a longer, skinnier nose. So it helps my nose look a little shorter when I do that. And you can put a little on the side of your nose if you feel like you have like a wider nose and you want to make your nose thinner, or you just like to have a little definition around your nose. Okay. So that is the easy peasy contour. It's really not hard. A lot of people are so afraid of contour and they think it's like so advanced. It's because you watch these makeup artist girls that take like an hour to do their makeup. And it's like, it doesn't need to take that long. It can be done in 1, 2, 3. That's it. So easy. And you can have everything in your face in a case. And it makes it so easy because it's all in one place. So now we're going to put the Wineberry on. Now this is a little bit of a bright color. It's probably better for people with a little bit of a darker skin tone. So I'm going to go really light with it. And I'm going to start it at my temple. And I'm just going to bring it right here on the cheekbone. See how I kind of almost made like a U or a C shape? That's where you want your blush to be. 2 fingers away from your nose, towards the temple and up toward the eye. It's going to lift the eyes, lift the face. And then we will blend that in too. So patting it very softly up here. All right. And then sometimes what I'll do, I'll get it off of the brush and then I just kind of blend in circles and I'll smile and I'll just get a little touch on my cheeks, but I don't actually put color on my cheeks. It's just more of the blending that brings it up on this little pop on my apples of my cheeks. Can you see that? So the color is almost like fading up like that more. Nobody wants to see the big pink clown face circle. that's not going to be a good look. It's going to draw attention to the nose. So we're drawing attention to the eyes when we do this. That's the goal. Bring people into your eyes. And then I believe she did have a little bit of highlighter on. She used the color Honey Glow, which is a slightly deeper highlight color. My highlight color is this one. It's just called Glazed. And you can pat it with your finger. You can put it on with a brush, but it's just that little bit of shimmer. Can you see it? How fun is that? It's just the touch of shimmer right there on the top of your cheekbone. Don't go crazy with shimmer. Some people have it coming down their nose, in here, and they got highlight everywhere. You don't want to overdo the sparkle. It's okay to do a little bit, but don't overdo it. All right, well, we are now done with all of the colors in our compact. We've got it all together here, and this face in a case is complete. Now for the red lip. So they used the full Monty. They did the red lip liner and the red stiletto lipstick. So we're going to go for it. Okay. This is not what I normally do, this red. So I'm a little nervous. I'm going to put a little more concealer on my lips. This is what Sarah Magdalena taught us when she taught us how to do a red lip. Look at that. Now that's a funky look. Why don't I go out like that? That would scare some people.
Yeah, don't
All
do
right,
it.
I'm gonna blend it. She said to
Lenora,
do
you
it.
can do this red.
Yeah. Some people can really rock the red. And I will say to everybody, when you put on a color that you're not used to seeing yourself in, you're gonna think it's bad. You're gonna look at it 9 times out of 10 and think, oh, that looks terrible. It's because you're not used to seeing it. You don't see yourself with those colors. So it's always like your brain is not used to it and it's going to interpret it as bad. So I am using red lip liner and I'm not going to go all the way into the corners. Apparently, as you age, you really should keep it not going like all the way into the corners. That's what I learned from Sarah too. See, we learn from each other. And I usually start in the middle like that, and then I just kind of pull it out and pull it out. It's coming together. It's happening. So the other thing you can do with your lip liner is you can fill in your lips a little bit. And if you're going to a party and you're going to be drinking, wine and eating, sometimes the lip liner starts to fade or the lipstick starts to fade, I mean. So if you color in your lips a little bit with it, as you wear off some of your lipstick, your lip liner is still going to be there. Okay, it's not perfect, but all right. That's one thing that red lipstick is not. It is not very forgiving. So if you make a little mistake, it's probably going to show. So this is red stiletto. Look at this fun color. This looks to me, let's see. It's more of an orange red, I would think. Does that look more orange to you or more blue? I'm still not good at telling if it's a blue or a orangey red. I'll have to check my chart. All right. This looks like it is a semi-matte color. It is. When I put it on, it's not as like shiny or hydrating looking. It's more of a flat matte color. Okay, so I'm going to put on the first coat and then put on the second coat. Now, one of the tips that we learned from Sarah was to use translucent powder over top of our lips using a tissue. Now, I don't have a tissue on me. I should have brought one over. But what she did, actually, let me see. I could use this just as a demonstration. She took her tissue, she put it over her lips. She took her translucent powder and she patted it like this so that the powder went through the tissue This was not as good to use because it had like those little fibers on it. But the translucent powder would set the lipstick color. Now, some of you have gorgeous lips. You have full, beautifully shaped lips, and you need to be rocking these nice bright colors. My lips, they're not my best feature, but it's fun. It's a fun color. And I think this would be good for a holiday party. I think I just need to work on the shape of my lip liner. Sometimes, you start fixing it and then before you know it, you've got lips that look like this tall. You're a little taller, a little tall. This one's a little bit taller. Okay, a little more on this side. And then before I know it, my lips are like that big. So I'm going to save myself that embarrassment tonight. I'm not going to go crazy with it. Maybe I'll do a little more after this makeup look is done and I will fix it. But that's the look. So do we look like twins? She is definitely rocking it. I noticed she's got a little more shimmer down here. You could do that with the gold status. You could do it with the light beam. And the way that you do that is you just go in with your little tiny brush, either the smudger brush or this brush. You go into that color and then you say, okay, let's do a little shimmer on the bottom. And again, you can always add more. So just go less in the beginning. Take a look, see how it looks. And then you're like, need a little more. And then go in and add a little more. But don't go in there with like a heavy hand when you're doing something like that, because you just want to add that little tiny touch of shimmer. So, and then of course you can use your translucent powder all over your face. It's a great way to kind of finish the look and set everything and just make it really smooth. So there you have it. This is the champagne celebration. I could see myself going to a holiday party with this look. Do you think so?
It looks
It's
good.
not overdone because the eyes are kind of like neutral and the red is like that pop. So if you want to try it, talk to your beauty consultant and